This is Charlotte for GamerCast.net with a new angle. I hope you like it. I'm showing off my arcade machine a little bit. I'm here with a pickups video. I've not done one in a very long time. I apologise. I've been buying loads of games, mainly from PlayNation Games, who used to be M&M Games that I've spoken about in the past, who are based in Croydon. Great guys there. Really fun to even just go in and have a chat with. I still currently have a credit note for them. So next time I go in, I've got £34 to spend. So I will start with the games I got from there, to be fair. One thing that's great about PlayNation is that they do sell games for £1, even SNES games, and those are Super Famicom games. So that's great, because you still get some people on like eBay and stuff like that that try and get, you know, like £5 for Derby Stallion, like 12 or something stupid, and it's like, it's not worth that much, it's worth £1. So I've got some really good games. What I had happen was Catherine and Tim basically looked up all the, is it SHVC? Yeah, the SHVC numbers on the internet to find out what the games were, see if there was any videos, if any came out in Japan, and then I kind of picked what I wanted and what I didn't. So this is one that's cool, although it's a sports game, and I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's basically like animal baseball, like cat baseball or something like that. So that's really cool. The guy's super cute as well, little cat on there. That was £1. Another one, just a silly one for £1. A sumo wrestling game, not sure what exactly, but a Namco one, so it must be kind of good. Again, that was only £1, so it didn't really matter. And of course, this was all stuff that I traded in a load of like double games with them, and then got all this stuff in return. So this is just an old Koei strategy game. It could be Nobunaga, I'm not quite sure which one I picked up in the end now. But it's got some really nice cart label art, so that's cool. Again, £1, mainly because, you know, you can't understand it. Whereas this one you can understand, so this was slightly more expensive. This is, I guess, Doraemon 4. So a very nice, accessible, colourful platformer for the Super Famicom. This one, I cannot remember for the life of me what it is, but it's got a dinosaur in it and he's eating meat, so that means it's awesome. I think it was like a dinosaur beat 'em up or a dinosaur side-scrolling game, I'm not quite sure. I guess sort of like Primal Rage. That one was only £1. This one I had to get as soon as I saw it. Not that I'm a fan of the series, but it was like, wait a second, is that Gundam? Are they playing dodgeball? Yes, they are. So I had to get that, even though it's like $3.99. But because of the offset, it meant that I wasn't really paying too much for it. Because the stuff that I traded, I probably didn't end up spending very much on. So that's really cool. Gundam Dodgeball. And then one which I saw, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, I'm having that. It's only £1. And that's Super Fire Pro Wrestling 3. The reason I wanted this is one of Suda51's first games that he worked on. And it's quite well known for its controversial ending. So I was really glad to get that. Again, I won't really understand what's going on about, but I do like the Super Famicom, and we have quite a few games in the system, so I thought, yeah, why not? It wasn't just Super Famicom games that I got there, though. I got a few other games. This, in particular, I was quite pleased with. That's a copy of Galactic Attack on the Sega Saturn. This is really cool. This is basically, is it Leia section in Europe, so an absolutely beautiful shmup. And in immaculate condition as well. Apart from this, I just noticed this earlier, it's got some marker pen just here. Otherwise though, the manual, the box still has its most of its composition, although it is coming apart a little bit, and the disc is really good as well. It's kind of hard to find Sega Saturn games these days that aren't falling apart, so at least European ones anyway. Another game I got in there was Submarine Attack on the Master System. Again, this one's complete. Slightly more expensive, but I really like the box art, and the screenshots on the back make it look really nice as well, sort of like Echo the Dolphin. Really nice colours as well. You find that a lot of the Master System games, some of the cheaper ones, don't have very nice colour schemes running in them. This I had to buy. I'd seen this, I was looking through their pictures basically as soon as I heard about them, and found this picture. They posted him a few months back, I think. And this is a Game Light T-Rex. Now this little guy goes on top of your Game Boy Color and lights things up with his eyes. So you can't get much more awesome than that. And he was very cheap because they didn't want him. They didn't think anyone wanted him either. So yeah, he was super cool. I do like weird peripherals, and not that he's a peripheral, but he's a thing, and I do like weird things. Okay, did I get anything else from them? Yes, I did. So very recently I've started picking up Jaguar games, because after buying my faulty Jaguar, I've really enjoyed getting games for it. Although, to be fair, I think out of them all I played Doom the most. I haven't had the time to play many others. So I picked up a copy of my favourite Atari/arcade games, Missile Command. Well, this of course is Missile Command 3D. The box of this is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like it's never been used. And this also comes with like an original copy of Missile Command on it, which is really cool. So I was really pleased to get that. It wasn't too expensive either. I think that was everything that I got from Play Nation this time round, unless I'm forgetting anything. I don't think I am. But I picked up quite a few things. On the same vein, Jaguar games. I went a bit crazy just soon after buying the Jaguar itself. Picked up these games off a guy on Facebook. But Iron Soldier, this is like immaculate condition, just like Missile Command. Boxed in instructions as well, so that's really nice. And I was told it was a good game as well. I haven't managed to play it yet. One which is double, actually, I'm going to get rid of my cart version of it now, and that's Evolution Dino Dudes, or is it Dino Dudes Evolution? Either way, it's a little platformer. Or is it Lemmings? It looks like Lemmings. Okay, that's Lemmings. So I'm even more kind of wanting to play this now. So that's cool. This is when the boxes start to get slightly more hurt. This is a Kazumi Ninja. I'm not sure why someone has broken the top of it. I think this was a pack-in game, so you got a lot of it and Cybernator with Jaguars. Has a violence lockout feature as well. Some really weird looking people in it as well. There's like this stereotypical red-headed Scotsman in a kilt, and yeah, I feel a bit bad for the people represented. So yeah, but Kazumi Ninja, I think it's supposed to be bad but good, which I'm okay with. And then the last one I got off this guy on Facebook, copy of Theme Park. This again is a double. Catherine got a copy of the cart back at Retro Revival in Wolverhampton, so she can get rid of her cart now, and we've got one with a box and manual now. They weren't too expensive, the price he was asking for them, so I couldn't really say no. And then coming off of those, I was a bit addicted to buying Jaguar games, so I bought a couple more. This one I was told off for buying because Catherine already owns a copy, but I forgot. There's a copy of Syndicate, and that came with a manual. These two were really cheap because the woman listed them on eBay as Atari cassettes, and that was all she said, like Atari Cassette Syndicate. So not many people saw them. And this, which I had to buy because I didn't own a copy, Catherine didn't own a copy, and that's AVP. It's kind of the Jaguar game really, so I had to get it. Again, this wasn't very expensive. I think Syndicate was maybe £4, and I think AVP was maybe £7, which isn't too bad for the games that they are. And AVP has a nice manual as well. Unfortunately, I think still, even though I own all these, still don't own an overlay for a controller. Did Missile Command? Missile Command might have come with one, I'm not sure. And then something else I had to do, someone on one of the Facebook groups I'm in wanted to get rid of his Doom box, so I said, okay, yes, I need a Doom box. My Doom cartridge is very lonely, and he was like, okay, pay me for the postage and it can be yours. So it was just over £1. It doesn't have a flap on top, but it means that now he has somewhere to live, so that's nice. That was all the Jaguar stuff I've gotten recently. I don't think there's anything else I'm looking for right now, which is good. So that was all way before Christmas. Just after that, it was actually our birthday. Oh no, that's open now. You're not shutting now. Just after that, it was our birthday. So we celebrated that. Catherine got me some amazing games. She knew I was on a bit of fixation on the Game Gear at the time, so she got me some Game Gear games. These were all from her local retro shop. The guy doesn't really know much about games, so he sells them fairly cheap unless he knows what they are, and then they're expensive. So she got me a copy of Woody Pop. I was looking at this earlier. This is basically Breakout, American copy. Copy of Slider. This is an English copy, well, a European copy. This again is like another puzzle game. Not quite sure what you do in it though. But the dude looks super creepy on the front. And this one, which I've really wanted for a while now, someone on a Facebook group had it for sale and then wanted an extortionate amount of money for just the cart. So I was glad she got me this. I'm not sure if that doesn't have the manual, does it? Or does it? Oh no, it does have the manual. This one's really cute. It's called Pop Hills, and you play, I believe, as the little blob. Do you play as the blob? Or your little boy? Either way, you're trying to get him to her. Cute. Kind of like Pengo. Is it Pengo? And I like puzzle games, so that's really good. Wasn't just Game Gear games she got me though. She got me these two amazing games. So one of these was super cheap because the guy had never heard of the series and didn't realise it was pretty rare. So that's a copy of Bucky O'Hare on the NES. He's never heard of this because he's too young to remember Bucky O'Hare. Me and Catherine used to love Bucky O'Hare when we were younger. What's his name? Blinky? That's Blinky, isn't it? Yeah, Blinky, Dead-Eye Duck, Stupid Kid. Oh, and there's awesome frog things. I always wanted one of the toys that you could get of those. We had a Blinky and a Deadeye and a Bucky, but Blinky's arms always used to fall off. Or was his legs? Either way, they were really skinny rubber, so they just come off. That's really cool. That's really nice condition, boxed and complete. So I was well chuffed with that, especially in the condition that it's in. And this, which I was even more chuffed with, this game I've wanted for some time after someone who I was working with told me that this is his favourite game on the whole of the Super Nintendo, and that's SOS. I think it's also called Septenatron in something like that in Japan. It's basically the Poseidon adventure, and you're on a ship that's sinking. You have to get off of it. You also have to save people as well if you want to, I believe. I've wanted to get this for ages. I was actually trying to do a Let's Play video for it, but unfortunately my cable wouldn't recognise the NTSC signal, so I'm trying to source a new cable. So just after then, I guess, Christmas time, or around Christmas time, Blockbuster was going bust, so I picked up one of these. It's not very retro, but I kind of wanted to show it off. So yeah, Blockbuster's gone now, finally, even though the guy in there was sure that they weren't going to disappear. They've been in so much trouble for such a long time that it was going to happen. They were selling these off, I think it was for £60 I got this. I think they went slightly cheaper just before they went, if they still had them. They were selling them at the same price as the DSIs themselves, whereas this one is the nice white version with some new Pokemon on them that I'm not quite sure. There you go. Reshiram and Zekrom. Those guys. I don't follow Pokemon anymore. I haven't done since Gold. Gold was the last one that I really played. I tried to get into the ones after that. Is that Emerald? And yeah, Ruby and Sapphire. I just couldn't get into them. It was just too much of the same thing with too many Pokemon that I didn't really care about. So I haven't actually opened this yet because I probably won't play Pokemon White, and I won't use the DSi because I actually use my Game Boy more than I do my DS. But that was really nice, so I had to get it. So then Christmas came. I didn't get many games this year for Christmas. Not quite sure why, but Catherine got me some nice ones. So again on the NES Focus from Bucky O'Hare for our birthday, she got me 3 amazing games. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Now you can't go wrong with a Disney game. That's Capcom. I haven't actually tried it yet, but it looks quite nice. I just always start singing Darkwing Duck when I think of Capcom. So yeah, Chip and Dale, that's boxing complete. It's not quite the condition that Bucky O'Hare's in, but NES game in a box these days is quite hard to get a hold of, especially when, you know, you don't pay the same money that other people do. Also a nice copy of Spider-Man Return to Sinister 6. I've never actually seen this game before, which is really cool. I remember reading the comic series when I was younger, so that's really cool. Hopefully it's nice. Spider-Man games can be a bit hit and miss sometimes, but again, that's boxed in complete. And then a really weird one, They're Coming to Your Town. Isolated Warrior. This is like an isometric shooter, I think it is. But the guy in the front always creeped me out. They had a copy of this in Cart Club for ages, and it's like, this dude here as well, what the hell? It's like some floaty jellyfish brain eyeball thing. Kind of creepy. But yeah, that was a nice one as well. Tim didn't get me any games this year. Don't know why. He knows that I'm a bit crazy at the moment for games. Then it's just been kind of boot sales recently. Thankfully I live in an area where we have undercover boot sales, so they're hard standing and they go on all year round, which is really nice. So the other week I got some random bits. And when I say random bits, I mean random bits. Someone had a box, and we were about to leave, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'll look through this box. I looked through their box the week before, and they didn't have these bits, so I'm not sure why they did now. And that was a Game Boy Advance manual, the consumer information for a Game Boy Advance, because I recently purchased a Game Boy Advance that didn't have the manual, so I thought, well, what the hell, I might as well. Also then got a promo copy of Disney's Peter Pan Adventures in Neverland, and a promo copy of Tenchu 2, and for some reason they also had a copy, an NTSC copy of Darkstalkers Night Warriors, so I said, yeah, okay, might as well. And that was all £1, and then I got like some gum off them as well for 50p. Then last weekend, in fact, much better than this weekend where I got nothing. I spent £2.60 last weekend. I got some good games. Dragon Quest Monsters Joke, that was 50p in a waterlogged box. You might not be able to see it from here. It's very damaged. The inlay has basically been like peeling away somewhat from water damage. All of these 3 games were in a box that had basically been left out during the storms that we had in the UK the other week. So everything was 50p, it may or may not work kind of deal. These 2 I was quite chuffed with though. A copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This box isn't very nice, it's got mud all over it, but the game itself and the manual was in really nice condition, so I didn't say no for 50p. And a copy of Super Street Fighter 2. This is really cool because we don't actually have this version, we've just got the Champion edition or Championship edition. Unfortunately this doesn't have the manual, which is a shame because this is a pretty rare game. I didn't realise until I picked it up, but that was 50p as well, so I couldn't say, oi, well, knock me down, because, you know, it's not got the manual. That would have been a bit cheeky. Then went to a different boot sale, just got 2 things from there. That was a copy of Blood Rain on the original Xbox. Tim's a big fan of Blood Rain. We were hoping this was the one that's backwards compatible, but it's actually Blood Rain 2 that's backwards compatible, so that was a bit of a shame. And a little Sonic. This is actually a Burger King Sonic from like 98. Yeah, 98. This little dude is old. And he was 10p. So I saw him in a thing and I was like, oh yeah, I might as well ask. And the old lady was like, oh, 10p. So he doesn't do anything though. You'd think he'd be like a roller one, but yeah, so he can just sit on the shelf now, which he's quite happy with. Yeah, the boot sales haven't been very good recently. There's a lot of traders go to the boot sales that I go to, and they basically just buy anything that I want. To be fair, they do leave stuff. Sometimes people don't see PlayStation games as good or PS2 games as good, and occasionally someone slip through. In fact, there's a copy. Oh no, it's gone. I had a copy of Mad Maestro here that I picked up, but that doesn't seem to be there anymore. From some shops recently, well, today in fact, didn't get anything in the boot sale, got a copy of Pinball Fun instead on the PS2. This is a 505 release. I've never actually seen this one before. I think you just get 3 pinball tables, but as a simple series game, it looks kind of cute in a weird sort of way. It's not your typical pinball game from the looks of it, and that was boxed incomplete. I traded something in, so it meant that I think I've still got £3.50 credits, so that's cool. A couple more random things. My local game shop, Car Club, has recently changed their premises, which now means that they're they were super close to my office, so I could pop there on my lunch. So I very recently picked up, I was hoping this would work for my TurboGrafx, unfortunately it does not. And that's I think it's a CoreGrafx 2 controller. It's really nice, and you don't see them often, and he only wanted a tenner for them, which is quite cheap. I think they're usually about £15 on eBay, and that's generally from America, because you won't, well, either America or Japan, because you won't get them over here. So that's nice. I've just kind of got it in my controller box at the moment, because I can't use it. But one day I will get a PC Engine. Another game that I got from him recently was a copy of Glacier Patrol. This, unfortunately, I don't believe is a super rare NTSC version. It's probably just a standard PAL version. I think the NTSC had a sticker where it says the video game cartridge. I can tell when I play it. I haven't got around to playing it yet, because obviously the colours will be wrong if it's the NTSC version. However, if it's the PAL version, the colours will look right, and I'm sure that they will. That was slightly more expensive than I usually pay for games, but I looked up the manual and it's weird. So this is hopefully my next weird Atari, which I hope to record soon. Another weird thing that I picked up, got this bloody Bats controller from a Facebook group. The guy knew that I like weird controllers, and he said I could have it for just the postage. This is a Wild Things Energizer. It's actually for the Mega Drive, believe it or not, and does turbo everything, I think. I'm not sure how it would be comfortable. To be fair, like holding it like that is maybe a little comfortable, but not very much. And that means you've still got... I thought I might as well get it, but on the floor. Probably won't use it because it's too offensive. Just before Christmas, actually, we were around Newbury. In fact, it's got a thing on it. This was from Pink Planet Entertainment Exchange in Newbury. Apparently this was originally new, £20, but it's only £3.99, which I thought was bloody expensive. And that's another 505 release. That's called Deep Water. In it, I think you can kill a big, there you go, a big cuttlefish, not big, giant cuttlefish, giant sea serpents, and giant anglerfish, and that's basically it. Why you would be attacking an anglerfish at the kind of depths that you do in this, you know, but it looked cheesy and insanely Japanese, and I thought, yes, I'm going to buy that for £4. It was Christmas, I thought, why not? And then the last thing I think I picked up recently, unless I've forgotten something, I don't think I have, is this, just a copy of Discworld. This was off a Facebook sales group. The lady only wanted £1 for it. It's actually the PC CD-ROM version as well, which is slightly harder to get a hold of, and it's in really nice condition as well. What's even better is it's got the registration card in there, and the person who bought it originally had filled it out, yeah, it was really cute. But yeah, I mean, whoops. Otherwise, not gotten much recently. That's like the culmination of a few months. I've probably forgotten a few things that I've gotten like packed away or put on a shelf. I was kind of having a look around beforehand to make sure I picked everything up, and I think I did. In fact, I didn't. Look, I missed that out. This is another thing that I got for Christmas. This is a game that I've been looking a while for. I've been trying to get a hold of all the survival horror games that came out in the PAL region, and Catherine very nicely got me a copy of Chaos Break. This is super cheesy, however I did find out, I didn't realise before, I don't think this came out in America, but it's Chaos Break, episode from Chaos Heat. And so me and Tim are like, well, what's Chaos Heat? Is that they're like a series, or was it going to be a series? So Chaos Heat was an arcade game that there's basically so little information on the internet, and Chaos Break was like based like a spin-off of that. Super cheesy, really badly acted, kind of what you'd expect of a survival horror from the 90s. It's like a proper Resident Evil rip-off, but it was quite fun. I was playing it in the night without a memory card, so it was basically useless. So I need to start that up again. Another game that I got just before Christmas in a, what's it called, cash converters, cash converters, which I really wanted to do a video for as well. I might still if I have the time. I didn't bring the box with me because I thought, you know what, my shelf doesn't want this on it. And that is Mary, Kate and Ashley Crush Course. No words can actually describe the game itself. It was actually pretty funny and pretty fun as well. I stayed up until something like 2 AM trying to finish it. One of the last missions was like this basketball hoops thing, and it was like rock hard, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to bed. I just shut it off, really angry, which is why potentially I don't think I'll play again, but who knows. Yeah, hope that everyone else had an amazing Christmas or holiday season, and I wish you all great gaming for the new year. I'm hoping that I don't buy too much this year, because I've been buying a bit too much, I think, in general. Maybe if I just stick to car boot sales from now on and play Nation with my trades, I find that is a bit more, like, less crazy, rather. But yeah, I hope to get another video up soon. I'm trying something different out, if I can get it up. This is my arcade machine, by the way, that I've mentioned on many occasions. Whenever I try and talk about it, it's always got the Neo Geo screen up, so you can't see anything. I've currently just got it on an MVS multi-cart. The arcade machine itself is a jammer cab. It's like a play scene, which is an old something leisure. I can't think what they're called. Generally, these are the arcade machines that you see that people butcher and do horrendous things to it. I love this thing, and I'm so glad that I bought it. And the joystick's really nice sounding. So are the buttons. So this is my pride and joy. Okay, look, there he is. T-Rex dinosaur. Amazing. This is Prehistoric Isle 2, which is a bit of a weird kind of side-scrolling. You're a dinosaur. Killing tanks and helicopters. It's really fun. Or are you the dinosaur? No, you're the helicopter, aren't you? I think I wished I was the dinosaur. Yeah, so I hope to see you guys soon with another video. Bye.